Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica and I'll be your OET trainer for today. Now, before we start this video on OET writing, I want to tell you why this video exists and who exactly is this video going to help so that I don't end up wasting your time. So first of all, the reason why this video exists is because one of my students who's currently studying from me, her name is Elahe. Big shout out to Elahe. She is an Iranian student who's currently in the UK and kind of juggling work and personal life and OET preparation. And all three things combined, when she got to know about my channel, she asked me a very simple question. Why didn't you tell me about your channel before? And why are you not making videos on other modules? To this question, I had an answer already prepared. They don't need OET writing videos because OET itself, OET official, has done a good job at providing you transparent videos in which you kind of learn how to write OET letters and whatnot. But then at the same time, I realized that all of these videos exist, and still students are going to organizations, teachers, they find helpful for OET classes. And she said that to jumpstart our OET coaching with the help of some free videos. You know, you obviously need a guided practice. You obviously need a trainer when you're writing letters who can kind of point out your mistakes and teach you how to correct them. So it's not just going to be sufficient with one video, but it is going to be a source from where a certified trainer is teaching them how to do something so that they're not going completely blindsided into a class. They're not learning wrong things. And initially, when financially they are not as independent, they can use these videos to kind of help them jumpstart their OET coaching. So when I heard that, that's that became the reason why I am making this video. Initially, I didn't think that students wanted a video like this because I thought, oh, this was so basic. Everybody knows this already. But then I keep getting letter corrections where I keep pointing out these mistakes, and these are very basic mistakes. So why not put a video out there which kind of explains everything? Now, so yeah, big shout out to Elahe. She became the sole reason for this particular kind of video. And I know a lot of students are not kind of going to want to watch these videos, but that's okay. If it's helping you prepare for your OET examination, and if you're just even one student who thinks this is helpful for you, I will keep making this video because the channel exists so that eventually, ideally, you do not need an OET trainer in the end, or you do not need to join an OET coaching center, or you need to join it for only a couple of days to kind of help you navigate this OET preparation. But to each their own. And now on to the people that this video is supposed to help you. Well, it is going to help different kinds of groups. Number one, it's going to help people who have never learned how to write an OET letter, who are complete beginners to this OET preparation journey, and who are looking for a free source by an official OET trainer in a more, I would say, detailed manner to kind of help them understand how to write an OET letter. And this is just part one, so there are going to be more parts. Now, the second kind of people it is going to help with is people who have already kind of, reached a certain level in their OET preparation. And now they are kind of doing the preparation by themselves after taking a coaching from someone or a certain organization, and who kind of need a check-in, sort of to check their mistakes if they are making any mistakes to begin with in their letter. So these videos are going to be acting as a checklist of sorts. Are you making these mistakes? Are you doing this correctly? So the basics, this video is going to help you with a lot. The third thing, it's not about the group. I want to clarify this video is going to be helpful for nurses, doctors of every kind, pharmacists, And these are the only three words I'm taking, but it's going to be helpful for all the healthcare professionals who are out there preparing for the OET exam, because the format of writing the letter is the same. Even though you're getting different letters to write, the criteria on which you are judged, the format that you follow, it's all the same for this exam. Without any further ado, let's jump onto it. Okay, so first of all, how to write an OET letter. The very basic thing, first thing we want to understand is that when we write a formal letter, you're going to get only 45 minutes. And I want to clarify first that you are going to have 5 minutes to read. What do I mean by read? In this time, they're not going to allow you to use a pen, pencil, paper, anything to use your hands on. They will not let you write anything. They will not let you even pick up a pen to write the letter. Within these 5 minutes, just focus and read the case notes that they are going to give you. After the 5 minutes are over, you're going to get a total of 40 minutes in which you can write, you can stop to write, you can write on the case notes, you can write on the answer sheet, on the rough sheet, whatever. By the end of 40 minutes, they will take your answer sheet away along with the case notes. They don't let you take the case notes back home. I know, sad. Still, moving on. This is what the case notes are going to look like. Now, I have used nursing case notes, as you can see here, nursing case notes, but the case notes for pharmacy, the case notes for, let's say, medicine, the case notes for any other kind of healthcare professional are also going to have the same look. They will tell you the basic instructions here, time allowed, writing subtest, and then the writing task towards the end. And it's going to usually contain 2 pages, but it can also be longer than that. So these are your case notes. Afterwards, what you have is the writing answer sheet. Now, a lot of people, when they get the writing answer sheet in the exam, are a bit confused because they have a lot of pages in it. So I'm just clarifying here. The first page that you're going to see in the answer sheet is going to look like this. You will have your candidate number written here, the last name, basically all of your details which are going to be used to identify that this is, in fact, this particular student's answer sheet, as you can see here. And then you're going to see a set of basic instructions like the one that I have told you already. You have reading time of about 5 minutes. Then you have a writing time of 40 minutes. And the other instructions, like you must not remove the material from the test room. Basically, you're not allowed to take the test back home. You must write your answer for the writing subtitles in the answer booklet. You can use a pen or pencil. I will always recommend use a pencil because no matter how good you are, you will make mistakes in your letter. And when you're making mistakes, you want to be able to go back, use an eraser, and correct that mistake. That's the idea. Use the back page for notes. This I will explain to you, don't worry. So yeah, this is the instructions page. And after this instructions page, this is what you're going to get. Pages number 1 and 2. Notice I'm not calling this page number 1. I'm calling this page number 1 and 2 here because this, whatever you write in this area and in this area is what the human examiners are going to check and give you marks on. If you write something about your letter here, they're not going to give you marks. So they have also clarified this. Yeah, that's about it. So this is something that you can download from the official OET website. I'm going to try and link this in the description below so you can download it. The reason why I want you to download it is because I want you to use it. I want you to print it out. And when you're practicing writing your letters, try, if it is possible, if it is financially acceptable for you, to always write your letters on these 2 sheets. The reason for that is because working on the official answers sheet during your preparation of OET writing is going to help you get a very solid idea and understanding of how lengthy your letter should be. And if you have reached over a certain length or you are under a certain length, you can kind of identify, oh, if my letter is this small, I probably must have missed something. Oh, if my letter is this lengthy, let's say that you're reaching this area, then it is possible that I may have included unnecessary information, or I may have used some sentence structures which are leading me to a not so very concise letter. So that's possible. I'm not endorsing the fact that your letter should be only this much of length or that much of length. But if you are in one of my classes, you will already have an idea that OET is very thorough with their case note preparation. Anything and everything that is present there, anything and everything that is supposed to go on this answer sheet, they have already thought about it. Okay, so they know already what is going to be a good length, and it's not about the number of words. So, yeah. So these are the 2 pages. And then this is an extra page, which is included in your answer sheet. Most important thing you need to know about this is the answers that you are going to write here. If you're going to write OET, I love you, they're still not going to give you a lot of marks. If you're going to write a perfect letter here, they're still not going to give you any marks, because anything which is recorded here, they don't score you on that. This is like a rough sheet you get in like your board exams or whatever. This is a rough draft. You can make notes. You can make the structure is what I always recommend before you actually start writing. Make a rough structure here. And no, you cannot request more of this sheet or more of these 2 sheets. You're always going to get only these 2 answer sheets, because you do not need more than this. You're not going to get anything more for rough pages here as well. Yeah. So this is true for the paper-based test. If you are going for a computer-based test, there's going to be a separate video on it. Now, this was the very, very basic that you need to know. First, we're going to learn how to start the letter. And before you actually see the layout, you need to kind of see where you can find a particular piece of information for this. So for example, I showed you the case notes earlier, and within those case notes, this little writing task area is where you're going to find the information that we need, and it is always going to be towards the very end of your case notes that you're going to get. You can see a few instructions here. Let's see them in detail here on the right-hand side. So first, this says, using the information given in the case notes, write a referral letter to Mrs. Jackson. Who is Mrs. Jackson? This Mrs. Jackson is the name of the person you are writing to. So this is the reader's name. You're going to need it. And who is this person? Mrs. Jackson is a resident warden, right? So this is their occupation. And you're also going to need this. And this is their address. She's a resident warden at Primrose Retirement Home, High Street, Minehead, right? So this is the address. You're going to need it as well. All of these details, the reader, their occupation, and the address are always going to be available from this writing task here. And then you've got a little set of instructions, a little bit of suggestion here. We don't need to talk about these in detail, but I want you to notice this little part. Use letter format. And that's exactly what we're going to learn today. After this, this is going to be the format of the starting of the letter that you're going to need. First of all, you're going to write the date. Now you may be thinking, Monica, ma'am, I did not see the date in the writing task. So let me show you. The date is very much independent, and you can kind of see it in so many different areas. For example, here they have not provided the date at the beginning. Sometimes they're going to provide the date here. And sometimes, depending on when you're going to write the letter, it will be the last date. Here, I am not going to talk about this in detail here, but rather in some other video. Don't worry. But yeah, no matter where you found the date, this is where you write the date. Then you write the reader's full name, not their last name, not just their first name, their full name, because it is a formal professional letter. So at least once you will be required to introduce the reader's name and address, and the same is going to be true for your patient as well. Reader's occupation will come here, and then address line 1, address line 2. I have included 2 lines here for the sake of it, but your address can be more than 2 lines also, so it's not a problem. Your address can also come here. Then you take a 1-line gap, and then you use this RE line. Some people call it the reference line, in which you refer to the patient and the details of the patient. Some students call it the subject line, in which we mention the name of the patient, again, details about the patient. Doesn't matter what you call it, this is the detail that you need to add here. You will write the patient's full name, you will write their date of birth or their age. Some letters will only contain the date of birth of the patient, so you write that. Some letters or some case notes will only show you the age of the patient, so you write that. But if you have both of these choices, you see the date of birth of the patient in the case note, and you see the age of the patient in the case notes as well. So what should you write then? In that case, we want to write date of birth, because age can later be written in the purpose paragraph. But date of birth is the basic information that you should be writing there. Okay? Then we use dear. That is set. It is not going to change for any healthcare professional, any reader, no matter who it is, even if you know their name. If you don't know their name, you are still always going to use the word dear. And then we move on to using the appropriate title. Maybe it is a Mr., maybe it is a Miss, or maybe it is a Mrs. So you use that appropriate title to show respect and politeness. You use then the reader's last name, because you have already used their full name here. So here you use only their last name. Now, how it is going to look with actual information. For example, here, this is the date, reader's full name, reader's occupation, address line, and patient's name, date of birth, and reader's last name. This is their full name, this is their last name, this is the reader's name. No, I'm not using the name from exactly that letter. So you don't have to worry about that. And if you're worried that, ma'am, we didn't see the patient's name in the case notes, where can we find it? Well, that's very, very basic, and you're going to find it here. Always in the beginning, you're going to find patient, for example, here, and you can see that in this case, we have the age of the patient. Do we have their birth date? No, we don't have the birth date of the patient. We only have their age. So we are going to write this. But if you have their date of birth, use that. There's going to be a lot of going back and forth. I am realizing that just now. Yeah. So this is how you do it. Now, you have noticed that the date is mentioned here. I have used the word January. A lot of students have this idea that they can kind of use the short form of the month or anything. Let me tell you and stop you right here. We do not use short forms in OET letters. Why? Because short forms are informal. And this is a formal letter, a professional medical letter. So we are not going to use short forms. Can't, won't, don't, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, Jan, sept, opt. No, none of that. Okay. Another question that a lot of students get is, about the date actually. So I'm going to answer that. Does the date have to be written at the top of the letter? Because you may see it differently in so many other sample letters which are provided by OET. So let me show you. Date of birth, the date on which the letter is being written, that date can be written in two places. Number one, this can be written here at the very top. Number two, it can be written here, right after the address. It's absolutely okay. One thing I wanted to keep in mind is whenever you write the date, there should be a one-line difference before and after. You see, one line difference before and after, one line difference before and after. You must also notice that I have not left a one line difference here between the RE sentence and the dear sentence. And you must be noticing that I have kind of interchanged the RE line and the dear line. Here I've written this below, and here I've written this at the top, this dear line. It is absolutely okay. It doesn't make a difference. However, what we do follow is that we mention the dear and RE line together. We mention the reader's name, their occupation, and their address together. If you want to put the date here or here, absolutely fine, not an issue. The other thing that I want you to notice here is that when I am mentioning the date, I have here mentioned the date in numerical form, only numbers. Here, I have mentioned the date in words as well as numbers. Is it okay in both the areas? Yes, it is absolutely fine in both the areas. As long as you're not writing a short form, this is okay, this is acceptable. I also want you to notice here the same thing I have done with the date of birth and here as well. The other thing that you should be noticing that here I have started writing the RE line, but I did not write the date of birth here next to it. Instead, I wrote it in the next line, date of birth. This is also absolutely fine, acceptable. OET will not cut your marks if you do this. In fact, you will see this format and this format and this format and this format in both in many of the sample letters which are provided by OET. All of these are perfectly fine. It is just a matter of preference. So all of this is about your occupation letter, how you start the letter. Now, about naming, there are a couple of questions that I get about naming of the reader and the patient as well. So I'm going to clarify that. When we know the reader's name, we write the reader's name in the starting of the letter in two areas. What are those two areas? We write the reader's name here, then their occupation, and then we write the reader's last name when we are referring to them, that dear Mr. Hinges, using their last name. It can be done in both of these areas, in this format also, in this format also. If we know the reader's name, this is how we do it. If we don't know the reader's name, what do we do then? If you don't know the reader's name because it is not provided in the writing task, then you don't need to panic. It is done intentionally. So one thing changes. When you know the reader's name, we obviously write the reader's name and then we write their occupation, correct? But when we don't know the reader's name, we only start with their occupation. Notice here that I've only written the head nurse and then when I'm referring to this person, I'm saying dear head nurse. Similarly, here as well, we don't know the reader's name because I have not written the reader's name. I'm directly writing the occupation, dentist, and then I'm using dear dentist. So both of these are absolutely acceptable. There's not an issue here. We're going to move ahead. And now we're going to talk about the ending of the letter. Remember, if you have any doubts or any questions about the starting of the letter, note them down, but don't mention them in the comments just yet. Because towards the end of the video, we are going to talk about some common questions, some common errors that a lot of students make in both of these things. So probably what you have to ask me about the starting and end, I've also covered it. Okay, moving on, we're going to learn about the ending of the letter now. So this is a sentence that I've taken directly from the OET writing guide, which is available on their website, by the way. I'll give you a link to that in the description as well. That is free completely and for students. When you end the letter, it works in two parts. You want to start with a closing sentence. A closing sentence is a sentence that offers the reader a way to or an opportunity to contact you or to show kind of appreciation for their involvement in this patient's care, management, XYZ, right? And you have a bunch of examples of these closings that you're going to find in so many OET sample letters, by the way. Two of those examples I have used here. So when I said that you can use it as a way to contact you, you can see. If you require further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. So this is one which shows a way to contact you. If you want to show appreciation for their involvement, you can use the second one. Thank you for your continued management of this patient. After that, what we have is this information. I've used the closing part. Yes. Now, if I know the name of the reader, right, then I use yours sincerely. A comma. If you don't want to use it, that's also fine. And then I use my occupation of who I am writing. I do not need to write my name. For example, my name is Monica. So I don't need to write the name Monica, Dr. Monica here. I don't need to say Dr. Monica or write my full name. I don't need to do that. And some students have asked me that, ma'am, if I don't write my name, I think they're going to mix my letter with another student. You don't have to worry about that because as I showed you early on, you have an instructions page at the beginning. That is also your identification page. So they have very, very strict ways of kind of identifying who this letter belongs to. And you don't have to worry about this letter mixing up. We are only care about your occupation. So if you're a doctor writing this, you will use doctor. If you're a nurse writing this, you will use nurse. And sometimes they will provide you in the letter who you are. Sometimes they'll tell you, you are a ward nurse looking after this patient. In that case, you have to write ward nurse and not just nurse. Sometimes they tell you that you are the emergency doctor, you write that. So when you know the reader's name, you write yours sincerely. When here, this is a problem. When you don't, this is important. When you don't know the last name of the person who you are writing to, you use yours faithfully. That's a very standard thing to know. Now you know how to start and how to end the OET letter. So I'm going to one more time show you the starting and the ending. If you know the last name of the reader, the person who you are writing to from the writing task, you're going to use this format and you're going to end the letter like this. If you don't know the last name of the person you're writing to, you're going to use this format. This is how your OET letter is going to look. With the starting here, you can see in this letter, we clearly do not know the name of the reader because we haven't written the name of the reader. We have written their occupation, community health nurse. Then what is following is their address. in 3 lines, like I said, it can be more than 2 lines. Then you see a 1 line gap here between and before and after the date. The date is written in full words, spelling is complete. After dear nurse, you can also say dear community nurse, dear community health nurse, both are acceptable. What this person has done is that they have written the RE line, but in 2 lines, which is also acceptable. It is one of the ways with which you can write this information. Notice that they have written the date here like this, and here they have used the dot form. This is also perfectly acceptable. Within the letter, you will see that there is a 1 line gap here, 1 line gap here, and 1 line gap here and here. So basically, before and after each paragraph, there is a 1 line gap, and you want to leave that 1 line gap. Now, in the ending as well, thank you for your continued care or management of this patient. You see this part. Let me zoom in. So you see this part here, and then you see a 1 line gap, and you see yours faithfully, because we do not know the reader's name. That's right. And then you see nurse. Do you need to put this much space between? No. No, you don't need to. Only this much space, or this much space is absolutely fine. 1 line gap is fine. If you don't leave the 1 line gap here, even that is fine, like this. Yeah. Remember, this is not written on lines, so perhaps that is why it is a bit difficult to judge, but you can follow the spacing that I've given here. It should absolutely check out. So we have learned now how to start the letter, how to end the letter, what information we want to include in the starting and in the ending, what common naming conventions we need to follow. We have not talked about the middle of the paragraph. We have only discussed the spacing between the paragraphs, because that's going to be a separate video and it's going to be very lengthy. You will hate me if I put that information in this video, because it's very time consuming. So yeah, this is all about this video. Let me know if you like this video and if you would like to keep seeing more such videos on your writing module, and if you want to see more such videos on the other modules as well. But we're going to work on the writing module for a while now. So yeah, it's good to be back, and let's see you next Wednesday or Saturday for another video. Thank you for watching this video so far. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.